Hello there, and welcome to episode 16 of the How Uncivilized Podcast. Last time we finished our JJ Abrams Episode VIII deep dive, and this time we're diving straight back in again. That's right, we found a copy of the original, in inverted commas, Episode IX script. Is this one real as well? Who knows, but we've got it, and we're sure as hell gonna read it. Move over, Rise of Skywalker, there's a new kid in town, and this kid is, well, unnamed because it's still a draft. Roll the titles.
Go. Bam. Recording.
Bam, recording too.
Saucy. Well, hello there, podcasters and all other people who are listening that aren't podcasters.
Just normal people.
Just your basic average Joe, your average Joe Biden, you know, dementia-ridden Joe. But anyway,
Stay in your basement so people will more likely vote for you.
Exactly. Keep him away from the crowd. Oh, what a shame. Oh, we can't do any. What are they, campaign rallies? Oh no, what a shame.
Oh, no.
God, coronavirus came at the wrong time. Yeah.
Well, that was a bold start to the episode.
Yeah, keeping it bold, you know, hashtag
Keeping it
Trump
fresh.
2020.
Oh dear.
But yeah.
Here come the letters.
They're coming quick and fast. But yeah, hello and welcome to our next episode of the How Uncivilized Podcast with me, Spencer, and to my forward, Charlie.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, so as many of you may or may not know at this point, the last 3 episodes have been based around a story treatment for episode 8 done by JJ Abrams, as if he was going to do the whole trilogy himself. So these are little PDFs that have been released to the internet that seem to show him writing out story treatments. And
yeah, kind of planning out what he was going to do with the whole trilogy, which, you know, even though he was never in line to do the whole trilogy, it was kind of a thing he gave to perhaps Rian Johnson and Colin Trevorrow after him of like, here's what I would do, you know, do what you want.
Exactly.
Which in this case was do your own thing.
Yeah, and I think as far as I'm aware, yeah, they're quite interesting. I think they take. I kind of liked the last one, episode 8. I don't know how everyone else felt about it. I thought it was rather intriguing. You know, the last page was a little bit of a whew. What went on there?
What's going on? Well, luckily, hopefully, today we're going to find out, because after finishing our episode 8 treatment deep dive, I was so determined to find out what happened next that I scoured the internet and found this treatment for episode 9.
Isn't it brilliant? So we found an episode 9 story treatment. So what we're going to do, I imagine we're going to do another 3 episodes, 3-parters on the old story treatment.
we shall see, you know. Just
who knows?
Take it how it goes, and we'll see how many episodes we do. Maybe this will be a 9-part extravaganza saga.
Exactly, page per page analysis.
Yeah, an hour analysis per page.
You want intense analysis? Well, you got it.
So I want to start this episode with, again, the same disclaimer we had from the last episode, which is, so we don't know if this is real. It seems to be formatted the same as the previous one, so even if it's not by JJ Abrams, hopefully it's from the same source.
Well, yeah.
It's a very early version, so do bear in mind things would definitely have changed by the time this came to be a film. This draft we have is from the 13th of May, 2014, which is a whole year and a half before even episode 7 would have been released, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, insane. And isn't it a month after the other treatment, which was in April?
Yeah, that was in April. This is in May, so it kind of follows that, you know, they've spent a month writing their episode 8 treatment, and then we're like, oh, let's do a little episode 9 treatment. Because
makes sense.
If this is real, if anyone had read that treatment, their first thought would be, wait, so what are you going to do with episode 9?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, what we're gonna do is it's the same sort of format as last time. So we're gonna read through it, page per page, and give our little commentary on it. Yeah, and let us know what you think. Sort of engage. We want to hear some comments from you. See what you're thinking. Obviously, Charlie and I have read this through once, but it was a little while ago, so we're coming in relatively fresh.
A difference between this episode or these episodes and the previous ones is that the previous ones I'd made quite a bit of notes on them, whereas this one I kind of wanted it to come in a bit more fresh. Like, I've read it through once, and that was a while ago, and some bits have stuck in my head, some bits haven't. Some bits have stuck in my head, and I don't know if they're true or not, or just me projecting what I thought was happening. So we'll see if those things actually do happen.
Well, only time will tell.
Only time will tell. So to start us off, I thought I'd give us a quick recap of where all the characters are at the end of episode 8.
I love a good overview.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the whole of episode 8. If you want to find out what happened in the whole story, go back and listen to our previous episodes, because there's really too much to say in a brief surmisation.
Go listen to our previous episodes, and while you're at it, check out our playthrough as well. We're currently playing through Star Wars, Lego Star Wars. Currently on the first episode, I think. So go check it out on YouTube, on our YouTube channel.
You can find that on YouTube.
Pluggity woo. But anyway,
okay. So first of all, to get this out the way, General Hux is dead. That was a big thing from the last one.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He died falling into a black hole.
Oh, the poor fool.
Yeah. And also, a big reveal, Ahsoka Tano is in this one. She's on Acto.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Which we also found out isn't called Acto. It's called the Unknown Planet.
That it is.
Along with this, we've got a droid defector called CFI-XI.
What a name, by the way. What a name.
How to pronounce that.
It's like someone thought, how can I make C-3PO more contrived? How can I push it to its utmost limit? How can I ruin any kind of droid name? How can I make it like the worst possible droid name ever? And they came up with that and slapped it in.
For some reason, I kind of read it, or I read it now almost in my head as suffix.
Suffix. It's just terrible. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's completely pointless. I mean, unless, you know what, if JJ Abrams wrote this, JJ Abrams, please, can you get in contact? Just let us know. First of all, if you wrote it, we'll keep it in confidence. We won't tell anyone. But what we really want to know is how you pronounce that fucking droid's name. It drives me insane.
I just hope that it's a placeholder name, because that's going to bug me for the rest of time.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, let me just hit some keys on the keyboard. God damn it.
Oh, man. I'm just looking, and C, F, and X are all very close together, so
it could have
maybe it was just
been him bashing his head against a keyboard. I mean, that's most of this treatment.
I mean, that's how I wrote episode 9.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I do apologize.
That's how he filled in most of it, yeah.
Well, JJ Abrams isn't listening anymore.
And then
Never mind.
Finn said to Ray,
So anyway, in episode 8, we got another Sith character called Dathan Naught. Oh. And that was very exciting, but she's also dead now.
Yeah,
so.
she gone.
Yeah, gone and forgotten.
Another one bites the dust.
To get to the characters we know, we had Poe and Finn in this one, and their characters were...
not gay.
They're pilots now. Yeah, they're not gay, and they're pilots.
So still pandering to China.
Yeah.
This is where me and Donald Trump sort of agree. China's the worst. Hate China. Boo.
Wow. Perfect.
Thank you. I'm nailing the impressions.
So let me do
Hillary Clinton.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
I'll do my Joe Biden, actually.
Yeah, go for it.
Where am I? There you go. Yeah.
Wow. Just going to leave that hanging. I liked how your eye filled with blood whilst you were saying that. That was really
yeah, that's what I was going for. You know the thing.
What he's like. So, yeah, Poe and Finn are there. They're not gay, and they didn't really do much.
Yeah.
So take that as you will. But someone who did do quite a lot was BB-8, and BB-8 was great in this treatment. He did like his own little side quest, which was his idea, where he like infiltrated a ship disguised as like a bad BB-8 droid, and it was special.
I mean, it's been a while since a droid's been proper useful. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, BB-8 moved a part of the map around or whatever. I mean, he wasn't that useful, I don't think. But here, he's really, it's a droid using their brain, their CPU to actually like knock out pretty decent plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we've got Leia. She's there. She, again, was just kind of generaling, pretty similar to what she was doing in Episode 7, to be honest, of just being like, I'm here, and here's what we're going to do.
Yeah, indeed. Misa the General, sir.
Yeah. Now, one of the big reveals we got was that Luke has a family, and he's in a family band, more importantly.
He's in a band.
Yep. Plays the flute beautifully. And then, next up, we have Kylo Ren.
Oh, wait, no, the band. That was called the Max Rebo Band, wasn't it?
Yeah. The band was called the Max Rebos.
In case people weren't following or didn't pay attention, Max Rebo's the blue elephant in Return of the Jedi.
I caught a bit of Return of the Jedi the other night, and there was the bit where Max Rebo, the blue elephant, is in it, and I just couldn't take it seriously purely because I knew they wanted...
Where's the band, man? Where's the gig, man?
They wanted to name Luke's band the Max Rebos.
Oh, dear. That
would have been quite...
is a Star Wars universe meme. That is a meme.
That's a meme. It's the same as the fact that the music they play in the cantina is called Jizz. Like, that's just it.
What?
Like...
The music's called
Did you not know that? That's what it's called.
Oh, my God, wow.
Horrendous.
George Lucas is just so horny.
Someone should be fired. I don't know who, but someone.
That's just disgusting. I'm surprised they didn't call them like dick sabers or cock sabers. Or,
Oh, ridiculous.
Oh, dear.
So next up we have Kylo Ren. He's got a cool mechanical eye because in this version, when Rey slashed him across the face, he lost like the whole of the side of his face, it seems. So he's got a cool mechanical eye, and he's also seems to be trapped on Acto after the last battle that they had between Rey, Luke, Dathan Nort, the Knights of Ren.
Ahsoka.
Yeah. Ahsoka, her. Already forgotten about her.
Dinosaurs.
Forgot she was there. Big booby dinosaurs, they helped out too. They didn't really. They were completely unhelpful, They were begging for help, and they just sat there lactating.
Exactly. They have pretty heavy teats. They could have come in like a wrecking ball and just fucking knocked everyone down.
Never hit so hard before.
Exactly.
I don't think that's the lyric, but it's close enough.
I don't know. I got the gist.
So then at the end, we got a couple of big reveals. The first one was that a bunch of rebel or resistance bounty hunters had infiltrated this place called Sacrum, which is Snoke's home planet.
Yeah.
And there they had found Luke's severed hand from Empire Strikes Back. So that was a sudden like, what's going on there? That's pretty crazy. And then the other thing which happened was during the skirmish on Acto, Rey suddenly found herself 300 generations in the past as a character called Talston Lit, who was a Sith Lord, I believe, from 300 generations ago. And then it all ended, and we were left scratching our heads, to say the least.
Yeah, very confusing. Yeah. And 3, 2, 1, you're back in the room.
And so, with that, here we go. Star Wars Episode 9. Rough treatment from the 13th of May, 2014.
Heard of thunk.
Do you want to kick us off with Act 1?
Act 1, Paragraph 1.
Act 1, Paragraph 1. Here we go.
So here we are on Act 1, soon to be Act 2. So yeah, here we go. We open over a green-ringed planet. Pushing through the rainbow rings, we follow the descent of an older, battle-damaged Empire assault ship, the Craven. Piloted by the Knights of Ren, 4 smaller TIE fighters trail behind as backup. Co-pilot Knight of Ren, number 2, talks to a hologram of Snoke. He's my favorite. He's my favorite one. He confirms they found Luke Skywalker's hidden Jedi Academy on the ringed planet of Skelth. The 5 marauding crafts enter the lower atmosphere towards a sharp peninsula.
A young Luke Skywalker, meditating in the spire of his silver Jedi temple, opens his eyes. He quickly grabs his comlink and says, "Han, old buddy, here they come." Han sits with Chewie and C-3PO in the Millennium Falcon, which is hiding behind a gigantic waterfall. Han says, "Okay, I hope you guys are right about this. Chewie, let's go hot." Ooh,
Whip out the bikinis, boys. It's hot out there.
Chewie fires up the engines and the Millennium Falcon shoots from behind the waterfall into the sky. By now the audience will know this is a flashback to some years before Ben Solo was taken.
Luke comlinks a teenage Ben Solo, who's waiting in a docking bay next to General Leia and some resistance soldiers. Luke, "Ben, you sure you're ready for this?" Ben responds, "It was my plan. I'd better be." He ignites his lightsaber. The Knights of Ren land their Craven attack craft in front of the Luke's docking bay. What? In front of Luke's docking bay. It actually says in front of the Luke's docking bay. I didn't realize he was like a thing now. He's just so important.
They named the docking bay after Luke, you know?
Well, I wish I had a docking bay named after me.
The Spencers.
The Spencer. Yeah, maybe there is one out there. Probably not after me, but
maybe
after a Spencer somewhere. Anyway, so the Craven attack craft in front of Luke's docking bay. They fight Ben and the Resistance soldiers. Open brackets. Fight music orchestrated like Koshis by Audio Slave. Close brackets.
Well, that's an interesting page 1, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know how you say that. Is it cockish or cockis?
I am not sure. I would pronounce it
Koshis.
Koshais by Audio Slave.
I've no idea. If anyone knows, let us know. I'm sure we'll find out
So,
at some point.
Do you know Audio Slave at all?
No, do you?
I looked them up purely on this, and I believe it's quite rocky. Like, it's not real. It's weird saying orchestrated like this song, because it's essentially a rock song, and it's like, you mean orchestrated like a rock song? I don't get
you.
Yeah. So main thing to take away from this is that apparently the attack on the Jedi Temple was clearly something they had foreseen and something they had prepared for. Hence, Ben Solo having his plan, which I feel like is going to go brilliantly.
Yeah, I feel like this couldn't go any better. I like the name The Craven. I kind of like that.
That's a good name.
I assume that's how you pronounce it.
Do you not like the name The Night Buzzard? That's a solid name.
Yeah, that's a callback. I do like the Night Buzzard. I do think that's a better name than The Craven. But that's personal choice. Yeah, no, I mean...
Yeah, for those of you who don't know or can't remember, the Night Buzzard is the actual name of the Knights of Ren's.
Yeah, they filled it in
ship.
canon, didn't they? And we had a few episodes on this, so if you want to check them out, I can't remember what number they are, but...
It's like episode 1 or 2 or something. It's way, way back, considering we're on episode 16 now.
Yeah, well...
Long time ago.
Yeah, go have a little look-see, a little nosy. Yeah, and then I like the fact that, you know, we're giving off the idea here that he's in a silver Jedi temple, you know, it's something well polished, this perfect kind of situation, which is something
there's a lot of garish temples in these treatments, because there's
like temples.
Yeah, there's the bell one, which is bright gold and everything's gold, and they've got the embroidered cushion which is there.
I do appreciate it. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I kind of like I would have liked to have seen more of the... I know people would often said that in the prequel trilogy, like, everything was a little bit like too shiny and stuff, and it didn't have the grittiness of the like original trilogy. But remember, in the original trilogy, they were at war. Yeah. And essentially, going back to the prequel trilogy, it was a time when, everything was like... It was meant to be like the high time of the Republic, so it was meant to be bright, it was meant to be shiny, so I would have liked to have seen more bright, shiny buildings. Definitely. That would have made me happy.
War brings poverty, so that makes sense, and then if you don't have the war and the poverty, it's going to be a lot less, which makes sense.
Absolutely,
What I found quite interesting while reading this is that the Millennium Falcon is hiding behind a gigantic waterfall. And the only time I've actually seen waterfalls in Star Wars is on Naboo. So I'm hoping that's where
this is a Naboo type planet.
No, I'm hoping it's actually Naboo and we've come full circle.
Oh,
I know it's called Skelf, but I'm hoping that was a place filler and he was just going to fill it out as
Make
Naboo.
it Naboo. That would be nice.
Yeah, a nice rounded kind of...
I could see them going back to Naboo. It's a lovely little planet, especially once the blockade has, been dismantled.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, but Naboo surely is the best with all those mountain ranges and stuff. You could easily set up a Jedi temple there that would be in itself a really nice retreat and a really nice place to learn the Force. I think it would be good. To Naboo! And also, do you know what I want to see?
What?
A Gungan Jedi.
No, I'm shutting this down. Absolutely not.
Oh, Misa used the Force, Misa going to kill all!
We know all Gungans are Sith Lords. This is canon. We know this.
They're all Sith, really.
Yeah.
It's the big ears. That's the big giveaway.
Yeah. So the other big thing from this is it's a flashback. Before, we had a couple in episode 8, but before episode 7, we'd never had a flashback before in Star Wars, and it would have been interesting to have seen this flashback.
You know what? I was gagging to see more flashbacks. All I wanted was at least, because obviously the ones in episode 8 were very short, but I wanted a whole segment based on flashback.
Yeah.
Just so we could see some of this.
I've said this to you before, but one thing, this would be quite controversial, I think, but one thing I would have loved to have seen, and this never would have happened, but I like to indulge myself anyway, is the opening of episode 7, we wouldn't have... It would be like in Rogue One where it says, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then before the fanfare, it starts right with the destruction of the Jedi Temple, and we'd see that play out in its entirety. Maybe hold a little back so you could have the Luke, did he not try to kill Kylo type thing reveal. And then after the temple's destroyed, we see Luke being oh, this is sad. And then it fades to black, and then you get the fanfare of
I would have liked
episode
that,
7,
but I would have gone.
Force Awakens.
I would have gone even further and put the "A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away" with the title crawl. And I would have put that after the temple's destruction, so you're just you're completely brought off guard, off kilter, because you'd be going into a Star Wars film expecting all this to happen. Instead, it's just a fat ton of explosions just going off. It's crazy, it's insane, it's manic, and then it just sort of fades to black, and there's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah,
that would have.
And we would have had,
so nice.
We would have had Luke, Han, Leia there, kind of, especially because this trilogy was bigged up on the fact that it was bringing back the original trio from the films.
Oh yeah.
I feel like having it start with them in this flashback would have been a really strong way to say look, we're back, they're here, here's everyone, here's them being happy for a minute before everything falls apart and suddenly we know exactly where we are going into the start.
Yeah, exactly, because I think that's all everyone really wanted, was a little hint of sweetness.
Yeah.
Because I can then accept the bittersweet.
Yeah, there was quite a big thing I found in the episode 7 of you weren't really sure what was going on in terms of what was the political situation, what were all the characters doing, because ultimately it felt like nothing had changed, even though when you explore the extended canon, so much had happened in that time.
Oh yeah.
But we as an audience, without investigating that, it doesn't come across it felt like the First Order were in charge, when in fact in episode 7, they were still the fringe power. The New Republic were in charge, but you just didn't really get that from almost the power dynamic portrayed in the film.
No, you didn't. You didn't get that at all. And that was slightly confusing. I mean, say if you were to watch the saga in its chronological order, you would understand after the first 3 episodes where you were at coming into the next 3, the original trilogy. Not because of anything to do with the original trilogy being its thing in its own right, but because they set it up well enough, and then not too much changes between the end of episode 3 and the start of A New Hope. They set it up really well. And because obviously they didn't know that there was going to be another set of trilogies, they couldn't possibly set that up. But I feel like more could have been done to smooth over the transition and maybe include more linkage between the end of episode 6 and the start of episode 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we know all these battles happen, like the Battle of Jakku and stuff. I mean, would it have been better had the episode started with the Battle of Jakku?
Possibly.
I think that would have helped as well. Then we would have understood that Empire obviously wasn't all dead. That kind of ties into the Battle of Endor. Then they go down.
Yeah.
Then we can just want something to glue it together, definitely, like you were saying.
I almost think what they should have done is, are you familiar with Blade Runner 2049?
I haven't actually watched it, no.
Okay, so you don't need to know anything about it, really, for the purpose of this analogy. But for Blade Runner 2049, the film starts however many years after the original Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And you're not quite sure what's happened in between. So to make up for this, they made, I think it was 3 short films, not exploring everything, but it kind of gave you an idea of what the world was like in between the original Blade Runner and the new Blade Runner. And these were called like Blade Runner brackets certain date, because that's the date when they occurred.
Yeah.
So it kind of just helped to fill in. We still had a lot of questions, but it filled in a fair few details from the film which people were wondering about, and they released them before the actual film had been released.
Yeah.
So to have had a bunch of like short films dedicated to the new trilogy before it was released, that would have really helped to have established for us where everything is in terms of this story.
Yeah, I feel like they really do focus too heavily on the period between episode 3 and episode 4, when really Rogue One was great, and I would love, I'm not saying let's get rid of Rogue One, maybe like delay it a few years or whatever, but between each of the new trilogy, there should have been a film based on that era between episode 6 and episode 7.
Yeah.
So we'd get a good idea of the world between there, what the tensions are, who's in charge. And that might have really filled in the gaps a bit to a point where we could understand the world a bit fuller.
Yeah, that's kind of what or at least what I think The Mandalorian is doing at the moment. And it almost feels like The Mandalorian should have come earlier than it did.
Oh, yeah.
Like instead of having these, as much as I love Rogue One, instead of having these spin-off films set in the times we know, like Rogue One and Solo, it would have been more beneficial to us, the audience, to have had films which filled in the gaps between 6 and 7, because that's a period we really don't know about.
Definitely, I completely agree. So yeah, perhaps missed a trick, but I suppose in the same way that we didn't get the fullest, most perfect trilogy in terms of storyline continuation, everything was a bit rushed, wasn't it? It was thrown together pretty quick. Everyone was expected to get these films out in under a year or two, wasn't it? It was very, very sharp. I think the Disney thing, the deal was done in 2013 or 2012 of selling it to Disney.
I think it was 2012, something like that.
Yeah, and then within a couple of years, they'd citation needed indeed. And within a couple of years, they'd released it, and that is quite a feat.
Yeah,
but I feel like really you need more time to try and get that stuff out. But that's my opinion. More time for everything.
Slow down, take a break,
just relax,
and
take it slowly.
Speaking of taking it slowly, page 2.
Oh yeah, sorry, going on Oh yeah, we should probably crack on with
we are
2.
We are 30 minutes in almost, and
wow.
Here we go, page 2.
Right, go on, Charles, knock one out for us. Next page, first paragraph.
Han and Chewie pick Luke up atop his silver temple spire. They shoot off after the TIE fighters. It's a huge battle over Skelf, with the Millennium Falcon destroying the TIE fighters. General Leia commands troops on the ground. Han drops Luke off on the roof of his academy, where he waits. Moments later, a huge TIE assault shuttle appears over him, and it lands. Supreme Leader Snoke strides out with his light broad saber ablaze. Luke and Snoke charge at each other, and their sabers clash.
Ben Solo is overpowered and abducted by the Knights of Ren, then taken off into space. Han, Chewie, and General Leia chase after them in the Millennium Falcon. After several attempts at intercepting them, the Millennium Falcon heads towards Sacrum's outer atmosphere. Ben Solo telepathically connects with Leia, telling her she and Han must turn the Millennium Falcon away immediately, or the poisonous Sacrum atmospheric spell will kill everyone on board but her. Only Ben and Leia have traces of Sith blood in them, open brackets, Darth Vader's, close brackets, which acts as a inoculant against the ancient Sith bioweapon protecting Snoke's planet. Han and Chewie start to pass out. Before the Millennium Falcon falls from the sky, Leia takes control, telling Ben she'll come back for him. Ben says, "Don't bother. I'm exactly where I need to be." Leia flies the Falcon back to Skelf in tears. Ben and Luke never told Leia about their plan.
Bastards.
Men, am I right?
Yeah. Luke and Snoke's lightsaber/force duel is epic in every way possible. Snoke, wielding his large broad saber, ultimately beats Luke, kicking the lightsaber out of his hand. As Snoke creeps towards Luke, hungry for the kill, Luke pulls out his ankle blaster and blows his right arm off. Luke picks up the severed limb, still gripping the red broad blade, and cuts Snoke up with it. Before Snoke dies, he uses his immense force power to destroy Luke's entire academy under them. Before it collapses, Luke surrounds himself with a force bubble, which protects him. Quickly surveying the devastation, R2-D2 calls out on a bunch of farming droids to remove the rubble from on top of him. After Luke's successfully extracted, he touches R2-D2's head and cries, aghast at the devastation. End flashback. We pick up just minutes after episode 8 has ended. Well, that's the end of page 2.
Yeah, and there we go. That bit's been filled in about the whole flashback in the Force. Well, I suppose that wasn't that only in the trailer? It was in episode 8. But it was only in.
There were bits of it in episode 8, and there were little bits in the episode 7 from when Rey had her Force vision, if you remember.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So that ties in nicely with how they approached episode 7 with that little flashback. That was obviously going to be a big part of this episode if JJ Abrams was going to do the whole thing. So yeah, I think, that's quite I don't know.
First thing I will say is, imagine if we'd seen that at the beginning of episode 7. Like, how cool would that have been? Not necessarily all of it, like not all the Sacrum stuff. Just the destruction, the battle at the Jedi Temple, seeing that at the beginning of episode 7. Need I say more? That would have been so cool.
I know, it was crying out for that, really. But yeah, so that ties it in nicely. It seems...
There's a couple of things I like in this. Like, I like the fact that Snoke is using a broad saber as well. That's very cool.
Which is huge.
Yeah. I mean, he's a big guy. I guess he can wield a big broad saber.
I assume so. I mean, he's not that big, is he? I didn't know he was like... I
mean...
He's not a chunky boy. He's quite a...
I mean, he's a bit wizened, but he is like...
I assume
like that.
Maybe the Snoke that JJ Abrams had intended was the size of that hologram.
Maybe. Just a humongous giant.
Yeah. Just imagining that would be quite good.
That was one of, I don't know if you remember, but that was like one of my questions from when we did the 50 questions of episode 7. It's like, how big is Snoke IRL?
Yeah, it was very confusing in episode 7. But of course, episode 8 did reveal that he was just about the size of a human.
He's a little bit taller. He's the size of an Adam Driver, perhaps.
Yeah, and he likes to dress...
A large human.
Yeah, exactly. And he likes to dress like a wizard from the 1980s.
Yeah. Just make everything gold.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's all you need.
We did see a lot of Snoke's power in episode 8, and then it just turned out he was Palpatine, which was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, very disappointing.
But being able to see him, like, more of a Snoke in his prime kind of look of being able to wield a lightsaber, attacking Luke.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Eventually besting Luke. That's very cool to see. I have to admit, as an opening, I really quite like this. I was kind of, if you remember in the episode 8-1, there are a few bits I was uncertain about with the episode 8-1, but so far, this is, I think, quite a strong opening to episode 9.
Yeah, I think for me,
I'm
it's
hooked.
definitely ticking boxes. I think it's a great way to open up the episode, really give us a broader understanding of the universe.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
There's a couple of things referenced in it, of course. There's all the Sith blood stuff, which was a big thing in episode 8.
Yeah, of course.
Which I'm not sure what I think about that. Like, it's very confusing because how can it be Sith blood when Leia was conceived, Anakin wasn't a Sith, and like, is it like a heritage thing? Is it to do with the Force? It's quite confusing.
I mean, yeah, it begs a lot of questions because then, I mean, say someone was a Jedi and then decided to turn to the dark side. Would then the planet kill them because they don't have Sith blood? Is Sith blood to do with ancestry? Is it to do with the original Sith race? It doesn't really specify.
Don't know. To sum up, I don't know.
Yeah, because if it is, that would make sense. But then they start to, like you're saying, referring to Ben and Leia as having traces of Sith blood in them because Anakin was supposedly a Sith. Even though later on it seems to contradict some origins, doesn't it? It's quite... It's
the only bit of this that I don't really get.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
don't really understand it. Maybe it'll be explained better, but for the moment, it's just a very strange concept, really.
I almost read it as the poisonous sacrum atmospheric smell. We'll kill everyone on board.
Oh, yeah.
God, Snoke is so gassy. He needs to change his diet. He's just farting left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. Like, just him talking.
Also, I can't believe Ben and Luke didn't tell Leia the plan.
I know.
That's terrible.
That's awful. Like, why does she not need to know? That's what I don't get.
I don't know.
Is she gonna...
Maybe we should have been like, oh, it's a terrible idea. Which, to be fair...
It is a terrible idea.
It is a terrible idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it really is.
They should have told her because she would be able to say, this is a terrible idea. Don't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, Luke using a force bubble to protect himself. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I could see that all day.
That. Yeah, a bit of
him
force
hovering
bubble.
around Good Witch of the North or whatever she is.
Yeah, I'm
good old Glinda from Wizard of Oz in a little bubble.
I'm kind of imagining like Violet from The Incredibles type bubble.
Yeah. There's a few different like ideas of the force bubble, but I like that it matches with that clip from episode 7 that we got of him touching R2-D2 and crying.
Yeah,
like
that's definitely needed
that's really
for a better
good
understanding, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sudden moment of it clicks and it's like, that's really satisfying.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
Nice. That's nice.
Maybe I'm just in a better mood today or what, but I'm loving this so far. Like I'm into this. I'm ready for whatever nonsense we have to come.
I know. I almost also like another thing I almost misread or misunderstood was when it says he touches R2-D2's head and cries. I thought it was like Luke touching R2-D2's head, then R2-D2 crying.
R2-D2 just like, oh, don't touch me.
Why must you touch me?
I like some of the choices of words in this. I like the fact that it says he's aghast at the devastation. It's like, oh my.
Oh my. Heartbroken.
Oh, man. But yeah, shall we crack on with page 3?
Yeah, let's crack on.
Yeah, take it away,
Take it
Mr.
away.
Spencer, sir.
Fade cut back to present day. Luke in the Bell's meditation chamber, which is now badly damaged. So I said that completely wrong.
I believe you got the wrong cadence.
Yeah, I did, yeah. We'll try that one again. Fade cut back to present day Luke in the Bell's meditation chamber, which is now badly damaged. Having trapped Kylo in a force bubble, he uses the force to lift him up and out into the sky towards the ocean. The second Jedi Temple again rises from the crashing waves. As a drawbridge opens, Luke floats Kylo inside. He's now a prisoner. Luke pats his children's heads, thanking them both for aiding the capture of Kylo Ren. Luke whispers
Just
something.
like, bonk, bonk, bonk.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you're getting from me.
Hugs are for wimps.
Exactly, yeah. I'm a distant father. Nobody said I had to be loving. Luke whispers something to Ahsoka. She nods and darts off. Poe and Finn are distraught. They ask Luke how Rey disappeared. Luke says, she should be back on the island by now. Want to go find her?
Across the island, Luke's wife Audra stands at the door to Talston Lit's mausoleum. She glances at the sun to see a solar eclipse. As soon as the moon totally obscures the sun, she smashes away at the mausoleum door with an axe. As she breaks it open, she finds Rey lying on the floor, covered in ashes. She wakes her up. Audra explains that she was teleported using ancient Knid technology. She was probably only gone from the island for a few seconds. Stop it. Rey tells her it was more than that. After the Bell's teleportation device activated, she awoke on a platinum throne hundreds of years ago. She was still on Acto, but Acto from the past. Rey explains that the entire island they walk upon now used to be home to a gigantic acropolis. As Rey walks out of her mausoleum, she sees nothing but rocky mountains and green grass. She cries in Audra's arms, exclaiming, "It worked! She did it! It's all gone, finally destroyed and reclaimed by the island. Beautiful, isn't it?" Audra asks what she's talking about. Rey replies, "My sister is dead. Now I have no one."
Oh, rough.
Just then, Luke and the others come walking up the hill. They rush to Rey's side. Luke says with a smirk, "You've got us, if that'll do." They all embrace. Poe and Finn can't help tearing up a bit seeing Rey is still alive and well. End of page 3.
Well, there we go.
A lot of mystery in that. She's back, but she went away. What's going on?
I really hate
that wasn't
Luke
meant to
being
happen.
This all-knowing prophet. It's driving me up the wall.
Yeah, it's not very nuanced as character.
It's just so like everyone's like, God, I'm
goes.
so stressed. What's going on? And it's just like, well, actually, she is here, and it's like, well, you dick. Why are you like what? Like, you could have.
It's
what's
one
wrong
of those
with you?
things. It's a what's her face from Last Jedi. It's I want to say Laura Dern because I can't remember the character's name. Admiral Holdo. That's it. He's doing an Admiral Holdo where he's just not telling everyone like the whole plan.
Yeah, it's driving me insane. But
Like-
wait. It's like Dynamo. That's what he's doing. He's doing a Dynamo where it's like, oh no, I've lost the keys, but wait, what's behind your ear? It's Rey.
Aha.
There she is. It's like,
Your friend has disappeared. Oh no, she was in the mausoleum the whole time.
Like,
Hold for applause.
check in your pocket. Oh, my watch. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, for that.
But yeah, it's almost like the opposite way round of The Last Jedi. Of The Last Jedi, he was almost too dejected and stuff.
Yeah.
This is the complete opposite of he is literally a god now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just completely the other way. I am enjoying it. We do get a little like cheeky paragraph here where it's Luke whispers something to Ahsoka. She nods and darts off. What's going on here?
What's going on there? But also, the main question from this page is, what happened to Rey? Like, she was only meant to be teleported using the Knid technology.
Knid. We are the knights who say Knid.
Knid. But yeah, that didn't happen. She ended up being teleported back.
Yeah.
Now she's saying her sister is dead. Now she has no one.
Ugh.
She says surrounded by several people who care about her a lot.
Yeah, how rude.
It's like the bit in this is a weird reference, but have you ever seen Spamalot?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've seen Spamalot.
Yeah, you know the song "He's All Alone"?
Yeah.
Which is it's the irony is it's a song about a guy being on his own, but it's an ensemble piece. So it's all these people singing around him, just being like, he's all alone, all by himself. And yeah, I'm just imagining that right now of, oh my God, I've got no one. I'm so alone. Literally surrounded by 5 people.
Yeah, it's so rude, isn't it? I mean, wow. Well, yeah, we don't know how she got back. We don't know why she's back. I mean, we don't know how long she's been gone. I mean, the way it's making it seem is like a lifetime.
Yeah.
But then if it's a lifetime, why hasn't she aged? What's going on there? I don't know. Was she just a projection of the Force? And if so, if she's projecting her Force body across all these like hundreds of years, why isn't she dead?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions from this page.
A lot of questions.
Which can only be answered by diving on to page 4. Yeah. If you want to
let's
go ahead and
knock this
crack on with it.
Yeah, let's do it. General Leia and Admiral Akbar's Mon Calamari star cruiser jumps out of hyperspace and arrives at Cloud City. She meets with Lando and shows him the image of Luke's severed hand from Sacrum. Lando tells her his team searched every inch of Cloud City after the Battle of Endor and had no luck in retrieving Luke's lost hand or lightsaber. He assumes it must have been found by occupying stormtroopers before he'd come back and regain control. Blah, 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 blah. Explains to them years before.
That's Siffy Exy, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I have no idea. Bashes head against keyboard. Explains to them years before Snoke seized and moved Camino cloning facility to his fortress on Sacrum. Many Caminoans escaped, but the remaining ones were enslaved and forced to work on Snoke's cloning initiatives. Lando, Leia, and Akbar hatch a plan.
Back on Acto, the planet with no name which keeps being named, Luke debriefs Rey. We flash back to Rey transported to the Sith Acropolis, which is occupied by the evil dark side users, the Kajin. The Kinjin.
Kinjin.
Oh, what is it with these hard K sounds?
I know.
It's really hard. It's really difficult. What? Careful.
Oi.
Rey's eyes glow red. She nervously saunters down the platinum steps as her adoring subjects bow and chant. As she descends, she sees a young woman who looks a lot like her, trapped in a cage. The caged girl says, "Sister, sister, arm yourself." Just then, the side of the Acropolis blows out. It's attacked by Jedi Knights, just like in Rey's earlier vision. The caged girl force pulls a lightsaber from the guard's belt and slices her cage in half. Jumping in front of a dazed Rey, the girl force pulls another guard's lightsaber and hands it to Rey. She says, "The Khanid were right. It's you, isn't it? It's you?" Rey nods. Yes. They fight their way out of the melee. Okay, so I'm going to pause briefly because I'm assuming what they want to say is they fight their way out of the melee or the melee, but it's literally spelt MAY space LAY.
God.
Like, what?
This is really hammering home that maybe it wasn't written by JJ Abrams. I have a feeling he knows how to spell melee.
I would really hope so.
If not, then I'm kind of glad he didn't do all of the trilogy.
Yeah. Maybe that's why the fights were so bad. You know? It's because they couldn't spell melee.
Let's do melee.
They fight their way out of the melee and into the bowels of the Acropolis. The girl tells Rey she is her sister, Daphne. Is that how you would say it? Daphene?
I just said Daphne.
Daphne?
Daphne. I don't know.
And they must rescue their master, Dyad Skywalker.
No,
Dad Skywalker. Who's been captured and imprisoned below. Rey immediately trusts her. They make their way down through the underbelly of the Acropolis and enter the catacombs, fighting Kinjin loyalists and marauding creatures. They find Dyad Skywalker and free him. Dyad asks Daphne, "Is this her?" Daphne nods, yes. Dyad smiles and leads them through the escape tunnels and to a waiting escape solar sailor.
As they make their getaway, Daphne explains her fellow Force-sensitive sister, Talston Litt, was kidnapped from their family many years ago. She was forced by the Palpatine clan to learn the dark magic of the Sith. Died tells her the Skywalkers and the Palpatines are galactic rivals and have been at war for years. Cool.
So, big thing from this is JJ Abrams, again, if this is his script, still really likes the dual family connection thing, because we've got the Skywalkers, we've got the Palpatines. And I enjoy the fact that it's called the Palpatine clan.
I know.
It makes me think of like Family Fortunes or something like that, where it's like, on the right, we've got the Palpatine clan.
Hey, welcome. Tiny little family from the planet of Sacrum.
Yeah. Yeah, what's going on? Like, this is quite something. We get a flashback to her at the Sith Acropolis with the Kin Jinn, whoever they are.
Yeah, that's the main bit, isn't it, that we kind of have a look at.
A couple of things before that, we get Admiral Akbar, which is always good to see.
Yes.
Love a bit of Admiral Akbar. We get Lando on Cloud City, where he should have been in Episode 9, instead of just being in a random desert.
Yeah, party planet. Like, what?
Yeah. And I really like the fact that, you know, they actually went looking for Luke's lightsaber. They just they didn't leave it there.
Yeah. No, that is
went
good that they
looking for
went
it
and tried
once
to...
they got back.
Sort that out. It's quite nice.
They realize a rogue lightsaber is probably a pretty big deal, which is a nice explanation of that.
No, exactly. And then we have the introduction of Died Skywalker. Supposedly...
I specifically pronounced this dyad, or whatever it is, for the reason of it's very similar to dyad, which was the whole thing in Episode 9 of the fact that they're a dyad in the Force. So I was wondering, is that a reference to being a dyad? And I don't know.
Maybe.
They had that word and they really wanted to get it in Episode 9.
It could be dyad,
if
to be fair, if that's a reference to it. I have no idea. I just pronounce... I don't know.
Possibly. I feel like dyed is probably right, because dyad would mean need two A's.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But who knows?
Not that spelling means anything in this.
Yeah, spelling is not the...
Could mean absolutely
maybe
anything.
He did just miss out the A like 20 times. That's
maybe,
possible if he can't
knows?
spell melee right.
Oh,
melee.
That's the best bit of this page, is the melee. I love it. That's so bad, and I love it.
One thing that's nice is Admiral Akbar's still alive and swinging in.
Yeah.
Always good to see. Star Cruiser. Really could have used Admiral Akbar's Star Cruiser in Episode 7, just saying. But anyway.
We'll leave it be, you know. Water under the bridge.
Indeed.
You know. Meteors under the starship.
Another big thing, which is Snoke seizing the Camino cloning facility and moving it to his fortress on Sacrum. What?
That's what?
Yeah, the Camino cloning facility is the whole Did he just pull the whole planet onto the... What's he doing?
Just put a lasso around it and just
did he...
towed it back to his place. That's crazy.
I'm finding it funny, like imagining the Caminoans like enslaved though.
Yeah, like they're big.
Yeah, I just where'd you put them? I don't know.
It's kind of like in Solo when all the Wookiees are slaves, and it's like, how?
Yeah,
Wookiees are tough as nails.
It's really weird. I don't understand the. But anyway, yeah. So that one's a weird one.
Yeah.
Obviously, Snoke has cloning initiatives, but I mean,
yeah, I feel like that's just a quick way to establish how we saw him die in that opening flashback, and yet he's still here. It's like, oh, he's clearly been like cloned loads.
I don't understand the logistics of seizing the cloning facility. I just like what?
I don't.
And then
know.
he moves it to his fortress on Sacrum. I mean, what?
I don't know.
So many questions from that. Like that literally opens up a can of worms and makes me very confused.
I don't know what this like weird obsession with cloning is that they have. Like, cloning isn't where they just kind of appear, or maybe it is in this case, but especially the Camino cloning facility, they were able to make all those clones because they were literally like birthing these clones and training them up to be like clones.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't really clone Snoke and then train the like child up to being like the supreme leader.
Yeah.
Who's in charge? You don't grow your own leader. That's not how it works.
Yeah, very hit and miss, in my opinion. It's, bit weird, but whatever. Yeah. Oh, it makes me laugh.
So, shall we head on to the last page?
Yeah.
Which, this is probably going to be the last we do this episode, because this is building up to the end of Act 1. And I feel like the end of Act 1 will be a good place to end this episode.
Brilliant.
So do you want to continue where you left off?
Yeah, I'll finish that, and then you can do the last bit.
Nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're crying out for charity, Charlie.
Yeah. You're not kidding.
Ray, what a time to be alive. Ray reveals who she is and where she comes from. The future! Daphne tells her only the Canid live in the future. Everyone else is living in the past. Di believes that the Force brought Ray's soul back to their time for a reason. They must go to the Canid creatures to find the answer. As they sail away in the stormy Sacrum night, a stealth Kajin ship tails them.
We cut back to Luke and Ray on Acto. Luke realizes his Skywalker bloodline once ruled half the galaxy. His grandmother, Shmi, was the forgotten princess of an extinct dynasty, and she never knew it. He tells Ray none of that matters now, as he and his father killed Palpatine on the Death Star too. Ray replies, some of him remains. Luke asks Ray about her journey back. He wants to know where she was. Ray replies, Alderaan.
Dun, what?
Dun, dun.
That doesn't make any sense.
But
why was she there? What the hell?
I don't know.
Oh,
but there's an interesting thing here of there's like a casting note about Dyad Skywalker and Daphne Litt. It says that the people they had in mind to play these characters were Henry Ian Cusick and Kika Rose Ridley. And Henry Ian Cusick, I don't really know who that is. Like, he's done a few things. Can't think of what off the top of my head. But Kika Rose Ridley, you'll notice a similar surname in that, because I'm pretty sure that actually is Daisy Ridley's sister.
No way, is it?
Which would have been... Yeah.
Wow.
Which would have been interesting if boring in terms of casting.
Yeah, that would have been a... Yeah, what?
What do you know? It is what it is.
Well,
what do you make of the end of Act 1?
Well, I think the act itself... And you know what? It's been all right. I don't think it's gone too crazy yet. I mean, the whole cloning facility thing has kind of taken me aback.
Yeah.
I'm still very confused as to what that means. I like the action that we got at the beginning. I thought that was quite nice.
Yeah.
The little, flashback. Yeah, I mean, as I say, I have issue with Luke being a king of time. He's literally just acting like a time lord at the moment, and it's driving me insane.
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, I won't get into them just yet, but I think if I'm remembering this correctly, there's a few weird Doctor Who references coming up, which you'll have to listen out for in the following episodes.
Stick around for more sci-fi references.
But like you say, I think this is a pretty strong opening to the episode.
I think it's a great Act 1, but yeah.
I was very so about Episode 8, but I think Episode 9, it's come out pretty strong so far. So we'll see what happens.
I think they've dealt with the time travel thing all right, but I feel like it's because it's been quite vague.
Yeah.
At the moment you start sort of nitpicking, it does raise a few questions.
It is strange that at the end of Episode 8, we see Rey on the throne. But then suddenly, in the next time we see her, she's just back.
Yeah.
That's quite confusing.
It's weird.
I mean, it does raise a lot of questions. It's very intriguing. I'm interested. I want to read on. So, in a sense, it's a good Act 1 in the sense that it's drawn me into the story. It's established some things and set up some questions. But I kind of want to move on. I'm still not really sure what the conflict of this is yet. I'm not really sure... I don't know what it's building up to.
What's
this about? Yeah. Because it feels like the big battle at the end of episode 8 almost could have been considered like a kind of ending, really. Like, Kylo Ren is in jail and stuff. Yeah, Snoke's still about, but it very much feels like I'm enjoying it, but it almost fees like there's a bit of a lack of direction at the moment.
Yeah,
I want to know,
almost,
like,
flogging a dead horse with
building
this
up
one
to
at the moment.
Yeah,
but
oh wow, we've gone from being like, oh, I'm enjoying this so much to being like, oh yeah, it's a dead horse, you know.
I just mean the premise.
Someone call the glue factory. This is beyond gone.
I think it on its own, the first bit, if you read it independent, is quite interesting and the way it links in.
Yeah,
but I think the moment you start bringing in episode 8, it's It kind of, you get a little bit confused as to, like you say, where the conflict is. But that's the only.
Yeah. I think the main problem for me at the moment is the fact that Luke is prepared beyond, like, to a ridiculous degree.
Yeah, he knows what's going to happen and when. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like, I feel incredibly safe because I feel like whatever happens, I'm not going to be like, oh, what's going to happen? I'm just going to be like, nah, Luke's got it. He's fine. He's in the back.
Luke's fine. He's done this.
Yeah. Look at him. He's just stood in exactly the right. It's like, well, Luke, why aren't you fighting? I know if I stand in this position, I will survive.
And the rock will fall to my left.
There we go. I feel like he doesn't even need to use the Force or a lightsaber anymore because he can just see what's going to happen. I don't need to fight that dude that's running at me because he's just going to, if I step left, he's just going to run off the cliff. Or you know what I mean? Or something like that.
I'm just going to stand here in my Force bubble and people are going to bounce off me.
Damn you all, I'm going to my Force bubble. And I won't be coming out for a very long time.
He's just going to go zorbing on Acto in his Force bubble.
Anyway, well, pretty good act. Pretty nice summary there of basically what's just happened.
Yeah.
Good first episode. Good first step. I think we've really
looking forward to what's coming next.
Exactly.
Yeah. We talked about the treatment for at least 50% of the time, so I feel like that's good going.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, cool.
I hope you enjoyed our talking and our references here and there, and hope you'll be tuning in for the next episode when it arrives.
Yeah, where we will go through Act 2 of JJ Abrams Episode 9.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, if it is JJ Abrams, blah, 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 all the stuff.
Yeah. Law, legal team, whatever, la-di-da-di-do.
Yeah. Disney, please don't sue us. Yeah.
We may need them.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really matter because it seems like JJ Abrams doesn't really have a sound mind anyway.
Well, if we didn't hear from the lawyers before, we'll definitely hear from them now.
I'm saying,
goodbye, everyone.
He wrote this.
See you in court.
I'm JJ Abrams, and I engage in a melee.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been fantastic. Thanks for joining us here at the How Uncivilized Podcast. We have enjoyed going through this little special treatment with you in part 1. Join us again for another sexy bit of treatment. Hold on to your hats and
And don't send us any letters, please. Sorry, JJ. Goodbye.
Goodbye there.
Thanks for listening to episode 16 of the How Uncivilized Podcast. We hope you enjoyed because part 2 will be coming soon. In the meantime, check out our playthrough on YouTube.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Reddit. How Uncivilized was created, produced and edited by Charlie Feasby and Spencer Lawrence.